It's crazy. Over $100,000 more monies was spent over this last week on hot collectible comics than last week. It's all because of two books, Hulk 181 and the number one book on the list. Ladies and gentlemen, the hottest comic book in the world, number 10 on the list. Hit the subscribe button. Is X-Men number 100.
This is a classic battle cover. This is a key that many people love because it's a centennial issue. It's that concept of old versus new. Like, we think about, can Michael Jordan, LeBron James compete against each other equally?
Father versus son kind of thing.
Exactly. So when you have that type of mantra going, that thought process, you definitely want to dive into these pages because it's extremely well written. It's right before we get the Dark Phoenix in the next issue. So it explains some things there. And we saw 7 sales with a 12-month average for over $1,270 spent. We saw a 9.2 sell for $288. That's up 2%.
My favorite part of this issue is that we get the debut of the phrase the fastball special, the attack move between Wolverine and Colossus. And just knowing that makes it cool. But if you've seen the panel, if you've read it, oh, it makes it that much better. I mean, we have Angel tossing Wolverine across the plains into Colossus, into a building, just taking him out like a rag doll. Wolverine's immediate response is to say that he has to be the one to take out Angel, that he has to do it himself to get that revenge.
Colossus is like, I got you. Grabs Wolverine and spear chucks him across the room directly at Angel.
The only thing Wolverine says is, just like we did in the Danger Room. They've done this before, but we've never seen it in comics. So we would soon see how they train for this monumental moment that would then be repeated throughout X-Men lore.
Number 9 on the list, Predator number 1 from 1989.
I love this book, dude. A 9.8 went for $474. It's up 9%, but we saw over $1,000 spent over this last week because the movie's coming out November 7th. Like just a few weeks away. I'd be surprised if we see this book on the list again. I mean, it's teetering off of it at number 9, which means that if we see it again, it's probably because people saw the movie and they're really excited about it and they want to purchase this book.
I don't know about you, but from time to time, I wonder, would Predator be as successful as it is if it wasn't for that 1987 classic Predator?
Yeah, it's timeless, you know? And I think that has absolutely influenced its longevity. I mean, that's why we put up with some like mediocre movies over the years, because we always know we'll give them another chance. The first one was spectacular.
I think it was just a great launching pad because the writing has sustained it to the levels that it is now and to all the movies we're seeing.
Number 8 on the list, Amazing Spider-Man 50. One of my favorite key books from the ASM run. We have the first appearance, the debut of the Kingpin. 6 sales, $3,200. 6 went for $1,000. That's up 8%. Doesn't need much reason for people to spec on it, but we do know and we can have a lot of confidence that we're going to see Kingpin a lot next year. You know, if we're going to see Frank Castle, it means we're likely going to see a lot of Daredevil. I mean, we do have Born Again Season 2, but if you think about it, in the MCU, we saw Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio, before the reprisal of Matt Murdock, before the reprisal of Frank Castle, Jonathan Bernthal. So really, it kind of shows that the studios I think it's like a very safe bet to bank on this character. And we have Brand New Day around the corner, likely a lot of street level hero stuff happening. Perfect for Kingpin.
Yeah, I mean, this is the introduction of a street level environment of villainy, really, because we got to see a lot of supernatural characters prior to this, all affected by science. So now we get to see more of the crime world, something that is really introduced right here with this issue.
Number 7 on the list is Batman 423, $3,000 spent. A 9.8 went for $1,750, up 7%. One of the strongest Batman covers in this marketplace. We see this book here more than most like Silver Age keys. It doesn't mean that those Silver Age appearances aren't hot or perfect for PCs or that they're not being hunted for. It just means that this book trades way more because it's a bit more attainable. And you got the McFarlane effect. Well, the original art sold, and a lot of people were thinking it would break 1 million and wouldn't even question if it would break 2 million. Like, it went for a little over $700,000. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I was one of those people who just assumed it was going to be probably double that, to be honest. But, I mean, it's so interesting because I feel that, I know it's a lot of money, that it's a good pickup for whoever was able to buy that piece.
Yeah, I reached out to a friend of mine who we'll talk about in a little bit, and his critique on this purchase was that there hasn't been enough $1 million sales in original art yet for people to feel as comfortable as they need to purchase something like that. I don't buy this kind of stuff. So getting a perspective from someone who does is pretty powerful. More on that in a little bit. Number 6 on the list, Incredible Hulk, 340. McFarlane, Hulk. Let's talk about it. 6 sales, $3,000. A 9.8 went for 1339, up 31%. We've been talking about New Mutants 98 kind of in comparison, saying try to secure that book for in the $900 range if you can.
This just continues to outpace New Mutants 98. And whether it should or shouldn't, I don't really know. But there's when you look at this cover, it brings back so many fun memories of both these characters because theoretically, this is the second battle of Wolverine versus Hulk. I mean, that's a big deal since 181. And then you also have kind of the prelude to Joe Fixit. Wolverine 8, we get to see those two come back together as more like on a friendly manner, opposed to like what we're seeing here in this battle scene. So kind of like strikes a lot of chords emotionally for a lot of people who were collecting at that time.
Well, also we have Todd McFarlane just killing the game. He just did a recent signing at like a comic shop. Dude, he's like on the street. They have lines going all the way down. Like this is kind of like more like a neighborhood instead of the city. And he's just like walking out there, seeing his fans, people dressed up as Spawn. He's such a like oddly relatable dude for being such a huge personality and celebrity in our industry.
At 5, Spawn number 1.
Can't stop talking about Todd.
Can't stop talking about Todd.
Dude, you got a great story about a Spawn one. We should talk about that today. 14 sales, over $2,000. 9.8's going for 167. That's on the high end, an increase of 29%. 8 copies outdid the recent 12-month average. I'll remind you, it takes 3 comic books to sell above the 12-month average to even qualify for our list. This one has multiple copies. There was even a 9.8 newsstand for 580, up 4%. Was it back in 2020? You came back here. You had a crap ton of Spawn ones that you secured.
So a friend of mine, Godly Comics.
Shout out Godly
on Instagram.
Follow him. This dude, when he specs on a book, he specs hard on a book. You wouldn't even know he's specking until he's done specking because he's got 50 copies sitting on his desk.
He's smart about it. He really digs deep on his research. Loves his Bongo Simpson stuff. Go check him out.
Dude, he's been doing this since before 2020. That's crazy.
Yeah, he has. And so he offered to me 44 Spawn number 1s. Okay, and 44 mini Spawn booklets. I forget what they're called. So the thing about it, though, okay, because I spent about $15 a piece on each of these back in 2020, January, right before really the pandemic hit. And these were the copies that came with the VHS tape. So when you got them, they have that, how would you say, like indent, really.
The size of a tape.
Of a VHS tape.
So you get a crazy deal on these Spawns. However, you're not buying just a collectible. You're buying a freaking project.
Yeah, you're buying a part-time job, okay? And
to press them. And that's not easy to press out.
No, these are not like light, okay, indents. This is a severe indent.
So you got like maybe a $20 book if you spent all this time.
I just bought a bunch of them, and I was like, okay, ultimately this is probably a good deal. I'll just work on these, and I thought maybe there's potential there, but I think even if I spent the time, because I think they're like probably VG pluses with how severe this kind of creasing is, but if I really worked hard on it,
you could get a 9.0, maybe.
Maybe.
You're not gonna get no 9.0 on that, but you the mini comic that came with it, getting all of those, that's the real win. Those go for double 9.8s. What, 150?
Yeah, one did go for 950. Another one that was a buy it now, 150, and then one went at auction for like 85 to 90. So I don't know. Maybe I get these things signed one day. I thought at the time I was like, oh, here's an opportunity. Maybe I can make something of it.
And you still have it 5 years later. Number 4 on the list, House of Secrets 92. One of my favorite books that we ever get to talk about. We have the first appearance of Swamp Thing, Alex Olsen. 6 sales, $10,000, and 8.0 went for $31.20, up 4%. Look at the amount of money it costs for just one grade point average increase. And 8.0, as mentioned, $31.20. A 7.0 this last week sold for $1,950. That's $1,000 for one grade point. And we ain't talking like 8.0 to 9.0. No, we're talking 7.0 to 8.0.
That's wild.
Right?
I mean, I love this book.
Respect on that guy's
the
name.
7.0 to 8.0, I didn't expect it to be that much of a leap. I would think maybe between like 8.5 and like 9.0 or somewhere around there, but 7 to 8.
Well, check this out. There are only 3 9.8s of this book. Bernie writes, and it's a horror from the Bronze Age. Like, this is tough to acquire in high grade. 3 copies. Last one sold for $84,000 in 2024. So already, those 3 copies Most people, they don't even exist. The top of the scale now is 9.6. There are 32 9.6s. Last one sold for 33,000 in 2023. Most people, if they're gunning for this book on the high end, they're lucky if they get a 9.2, 9.4. All right, 9.6, I said 33,000. 9.4 last sale, 14,400.
Just that extra point two, and it doubles. I mean, $15,000+ more.
All right, well, we got a lot of news about Swamp Thing over New York City Comic Con, but it's not the movie, you know, that was announced years ago that James Gunn eventually is going to get to. It was about Something is Killing the Children. What? Boom Studios crossing over with DC Comics to create, by James Tynion IV, Swamp Thing is Killing the Children. What's going on, dude? That's crazy. How did DC approve that? Like, James even joked about them not wanting to approve that name. Everyone's going to read this. And then what happens like a week later? We find out Something is Killing Children, optioned officially, and it's happening.
So this is going to be a comic, right? The Swamp Thing Killing Children? Wow. Okay. I'm in. I'll check it. I haven't even read Something is Killing the Children.
How can you not be in?
I'm a graphic novel kind of reader,
Me
guys.
too.
I can't sit, like, I still have to read Absolute Batman, which I'm ashamed I haven't read yet.
You're going to love it.
I keep watching your tens and on Fridays, and I'm just like, oh my God, I need to read this.
Number 3 on the list. I mean, speaking of original art, we got to give a shout out to another homie in the industry. Incredible Hulk, issue 181. I told you, when we have over $100,000 more, spent, when you compare week over week, it's typically only 1 or 2 books. It means there's some strong sales. This was one of them. Near $30,000 was spent on this one book in 7 days, above the 12-month average, not counting the raw copies, not counting the books that were 1% under the 12-month average, the deals, if you would. A 9.4 went for $10,500, up 3%. An 8.5 went for $5,100, up 6%. We have the first full appearance of Logan, the Wolverine.
So rumor has it Len Wein's house had a fire. And allegedly, the cover to Hulk 181 burned.
That was years ago. Even interior pages that survived have burn marks around the corners. And no one knows if this, one of the most important Bronze Age pieces of art, even exists anymore. The original of Hulk 181.
It could be completely gone now. No one could ever potentially own it. Now, is it possible it's somewhere out there? Could Herb Trimpe have it, who passed away, so probably can't? Now, could it have ended up in a private collection? Could another artist have had it or has it now? Possibly. We don't really fully know.
But people who want this stuff, they spend a lot of their time hunting it like we hunt collectible comics in long boxes,
Yeah, and so there's been a push because there have been some recreations of this cover. And shout out to our buddy, the man behind the red hood.
Yeah, shout out Rob. Good friend of ours. We actually talked about him on the mic. We went to his wedding in Vegas. He dressed up in the original screen-worn Joker outfit by Jack Nicholson, and his wife Crystal dressed up as Harley Quinn, and she has a huge toy company called Rogue Toys. You should be following both of them.
Yeah, and check out his store in Vegas, by the way, Rob's.
One of the coolest shops. I can't wait to go.
And another reason to go is for that recreation, because he just unboxed a recreation of Hulk 181 by Herb Trimpe, the original artist.
With no original to hunt for, the recreations by the original artist is the next best bet. He only did a few of these before his passing, and Rob mentions in post that this is the only one, to his knowledge, that actually has the trade dress done by the original artist with the Marvel logo and the price and everything. It's like the most complete recreation that exists. So shout out to our homie Rob, and congrats on the amazing piece.
Instead of like the overlays with the acetates and stuff like that.
That's right.
Actually hand-drawn lettering. Okay.
Do yourself a solid, download Key Collector Comics, the best comic app in existence. Tom 101 unlocks a free 2-week subscription of this app. There's a lot of comic book stuff to know. There's a lot of news updates to know. There's a lot of books that move because of said news. Key Collector is going to keep you informed. They're going to give you the update as soon as they find out it happens. They have like insider sources too. So sometimes we find out in the comic industry before the mainstream, before the normies, and you can be part of this like group of people who are in the know. Join the community. And let's talk about number 2 on the list, ASM 300. We're not done talking about original art, my friend. We have McFarlane, first full appearance of Venom, over $8,000 in sales. Could it be because people are getting ready for the Todd McFarlane signing on, in Florida, CGC? Probably. 9.8 went for $2,650, up 6%, about market rate. We don't know if a Hulk 181 OA exists anymore, but we sure as hell know that ASM 300 exists.
Head of Bad Idea, Dinesh, he has a killer comic collection, a killer art collection, picked up the cover in 2018.
He owns the OA, ladies and gentlemen, and he paid $240,000 then. That
And
seems like ridiculously low, doesn't it?
yeah, I mean, when you're looking at Batman, what, 423 selling for over 700,000 now, you just have to assume that that ASM 300 cover will easily eclipse that.
Well, I reached out to Dinesh because, like, oh, the owner, what do you think it's worth now? Like, that doesn't really tell us much. I mean, he owns it. There's a bias. So I had I think, a better question. I hit up Dinesh and asked him, what is the highest offer that you declined?
Okay, this sounds like more of a separate video that we need to get into. So if you guys want to see a video like that, let us know. We'll get Dinesh on the show. You can hear it from the horse's mouth. And also, if you want to see this cover, it isn't just sitting in a binder at his house, like just kept to himself. He has it traveling the globe right now. And if you go to Marvel the Universe of Superheroes, the exhibit, it's in Germany at the moment. And I think it's already been to Switzerland.
It's been to New Zealand. It's been all over the United States. It's important for Dinesh, for like people to see this important piece of comic history. And that's a really good question to hit the community. I know the highest offer that he declined. And if you guys want to hear that number, you guys want to hear the story about the acquisition of this, comment down below and I'll see if I can get Dinesh on the mic. Let's move on to the number one hottest book in the world. Do yourself a solid. If you want to support the show, you enjoy what we do, the free content that we make, join the mystery mail call, comictom.com. We pack a box with 4 to 5 comic books, but there's some guarantees. This month, everyone's getting a limited to $9.99 Youngblood #1. We teamed up with Rob Liefeld. This is our first Rob Liefeld cover. Everyone gets one. We have under 150 boxes left, and we just opened enrollment. Hit the link, and let's talk about the number one hottest book in the world. I told you 2 books just outshined all the rest. Number 1 was the biggest, AF-15, the first appearance of Spider-Man. 4 sales, near $90,000. We have first Uncle Ben, first Aunt May, first Flash Thompson. We got to know these things, ladies and gentlemen. The book came out in 1962. A 5.0 hit $45,600. That's up 6%. You're the guru, man. This is one of those books that like dictates so much in the marketplace. And to see it at number 1, it's a statement. Like, how do the prices feel? You can get a 1.8 for $15,885. That just happened. That's up 2%.
I have to first lead with it is so nice to see something this iconic on the Hot 10 at number 1, because we don't always get that, right? If you're following us, you see the kinds of books that hit 1 for the week. So it's wild to finally see this book here. I mean, it literally is the number 1 Silver Age key there is. And, you know, we all know through the pandemic how high numbers were, right? We know a lot of people have taken a huge dip, if not all. But if there's any book you feel confident to recapture the ground that to get to those numbers again, it is this book. And we are consistently seeing it sell an inch by inch move up the pole again. So this book at a entry level 1.8, and it's probably a nice looking 1.8 for 15.5, sounds about what you should be paying for a nice 1.8.
Let us know what you think in the comment section below, because this is like one of those books that people decide, like, you know what? I'm going to get this book. I just don't know when. And they pull the trigger. Like, it's one of those where you hit up your peeps and you say, you know what? I'm in the market. I know like more than one person right now off the cuff where I've had this conversation. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. And again, I know it's a grail. It's a fairly common book. Put the money aside, because when the time comes for you to pull that trigger, you want your money there to do that, because you will have that opportunity. Things slip through the cracks.
Hit the like, slap the subscribe, and of course, as always,
collect the old and gold and geek responsibly.
Enough said. So Jeff's giving away an AF-15 this week. I'm just kidding. No. But what we're going to do.
First Amadeus check.
Nice. No, I did this TMNT issue number 12 foil with John Boy Myers. It's gorgeous. Under 500 printed after damages. And we're selling it on comictom.com. Go check it out if you just want to secure the book. We're going to give away a couple copies of this week. And if you go to the website, you can put your phone number in and join our text message group, our SMS group. That's where we source every giveaway we do. We don't contact you through the comment section. We don't like email you or anything. We contact you through their SMS and we'll take it from there. That's how we know it's you. And I have to say that because there are still people trying to scam our audience in the chat. Every once in a while, I'll get a message that says, hey, you hit me up on WhatsApp, Tom? I won a giveaway. I'm like, dude, no, that's not me. So don't respond to me unless it's through the SMS group, because that's how we know it's you. And of course, have a great week.